Time for another TBR. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zach with Zacks Books, and today I've got for you my August TBR. So it is time yet again to reveal some books I want to read in the month of August. Obviously, I will be adding some to this list, or hopefully not subtracting any from this list, but I will be adding some books, new releases and stuff like that, and I am going to mention a new release in this video because of how excited I am for it to come out this month. Also, if you didn't know, August is my YouTube anniversary. It has been a year since I have joined the YouTube clan. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so already. It's a really jolly channel. Please check us out, subscribe, and do all the things. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also, if you're intrigued with any of these books, we will have them linked down below. Let's get started with the list. Alright, the first book I'm going to talk about is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. So, I have read The Andromeda Strain by him way back in high school. So it's been a while since I've read a book by him, and I know Jurassic Park is obviously a very good movie. I've heard good things about the books. There is a sequel called The Lost World, which I do have a special edition that's got this and The Lost World in it. When I do read it, I will be using that book, not this one, but I figured I would just show you this one because it's a cool little 25th anniversary edition of Jurassic Park. So by what I understand with this is it's pretty close to the movie. Obviously, dinosaurs come back, does not go according to plan. All hell breaks loose on an island with dinosaurs, and I'm excited to read about it as opposed to watch it. So there you have my first book, hopefully for August, Jurassic Park, Michael Crichton. The next book I'm going to talk about is a book that I do not own yet because it is released in August. Billy Summers by Stephen King, released August 3rd. By what I know with this book is it's about an assassin who wants to retire but then gets asked to do one more job, and I think it kind of doesn't go right. I have not checked out the synopsis for a while because obviously as soon as I found out it was out, I read it and then I just kind of did a bunch of other stuff, so I'm not 100% sure if that synopsis is 100% accurate, but I do know that it's about some assassin and he's got one last job he's got to do. But I am very excited for it. Odds are we'll be doing that as a reading vlog, so stay tuned for probably the first week of August for a Billy Summers reading vlog. So be ready for that. So I'm very excited for that, and that is book number 2 that I'm planning to read, Billy Summers by Stephen King. Alright, the next book I'm going to talk about is For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. So it's the thriller pick of the month, the Danielle pick of the month. And so I am just going to read the blurb from the top. A bold, sneaky thriller set at a prestigious private school, complete with interfering parents, overeager students, and one teacher who just wants to teach them all a lesson. I mean, it sounds really exciting, and I really want to get into it because it's a thriller pick from Danielle, and those all tend to be hits. The first couple were misses, but we've had a streak of probably 8 in a row that have been really good from her suggestions, and so I'm hoping this one will follow. I have read a Samantha Downing book. I think it was Sleeping Dogs Lie, and it was just like an audiobook or something like that. It was pretty solid. So, but yeah, For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. All right, the next book I'm going to talk about is One Punch Man Volume 2. So, as you guys know, I read the first one and I absolutely loved it, and I am very excited to continue this journey and read the second volume. So, obviously, I've got some other manga that I have on my list. I've got Attack on Titan, The Black Butler, which was recommended to me by a gentleman from Barnes & Noble. Demon Slayer, I actually was able to find the first one of that. So there's a couple options I have that I am intrigued with reading, but I figure I've read a One Punch Man already, so let's just keep going on the One Punch Man train. And obviously if you don't know what it is, it's literally just this guy called One Punch Man, or Saitama, and he literally can destroy anything and kill anybody with one punch. So, and he's just trying to live his best life, and a lot of things are not going right for him. So very excited to get into this one. The first volume was really great, and so I'm hoping that the next one is just as good. So there you have One Punch Man Volume 2. Alright, next up is another Darcy Coates book, which I have not read one by her in quite some time, actually. And that is House of Shadows. So this is the first one in a duology. I think that's what it's called when it's just 2 books. It's this one, which is House of Shadows, and then the sequel is House of Secrets. So in this one, by what I understand, it's about a woman named Sophie. Yeah, Sophie, and a lot of things go astray in this house, and her husband and her are trying to kind of like survive it. Obviously, it's got some haunted house feels. That kind of seems to be what Darcy writes the most about, haunted houses, like Gillespie House, Rockwood House. Like she kind of writes a bunch of like haunted house stuff, and I love them. So with October around the corner, I kind of need to start getting back into some of this haunted stuff, haunted houses and stuff like that, because something big is coming in the month of October. So be ready for October with our channel, because it's going to be big and it's going to be fabulous. So the next book by Darcy Coates I'm going to be reading is House of Shadows. Alright, the next book I'm going to talk about is, I'm going to consider technically like my classic pick for the month. I will say I'm going off of what I remember from the movie, which I think it's pretty close to the book, because this, I'm just going to say, Mystic River by Dennis Liam. So he is the author of Shutter Island, and that book the movie was like spot on with the book. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the same thing. What I understand with this is it's 3 kids from Boston. One of them gets abducted and doesn't seem to be quite the same when he returns home. And then you kind of jump forward. One of the 3 friends' daughters gets murdered, and everyone's kind of assuming it's this guy. And it's really depressing when you find out what actually happens towards the end, because at least that's how I remember it in the movie. So I'm hoping Mystic River, the book, is fairly close to that. So that is why I'm putting it on the list, because I really want to read it. So there you have Mystic River. Also making a return in the month of August is Josh Malerman with Unbarry Carol. So I'm going to read the last paragraph in the back of the book, because that's all I really want to share with you guys. The haunting story of a woman literally bringing herself back from the dead, Unbarry Carol is a twisted take on the Sleeping Beauty myth that will haunt you long after you've turned the final page. Eek. So I'm very excited to get into this. I can't remember the last Josh Malerman book I read. I think it was Goblin, the one with all the short stories, and they all kind of correlate around this town called Goblin. It was a pretty solid book. I think I gave it like 4 stars or something like that, 3.5, something. But I'm very excited to read this. This is a lesser-known Josh Malerman book, and I am very intrigued to get into this and give it a read, because it seems intriguing. So there you have Unbarry Carol by Josh Malerman. Alright, and the last book I'm going to share with you guys is another Anya Alborn, The Bird Eater. So, as you guys know, with any Anya Alborn book, I really like going into them blind, not knowing anything about the book. So I'm not going to change that. If you want to know more about the book, like I said, we'll have these all linked down below. So if you want to check out the synopsis, give it a read, go ahead. I want to go into this blind and not know anything about it. May I do this as a reading blog? I don't know. But I am very excited to read this one, because I don't have a whole lot of Anya Alborn's left, and everything I've read by her so far has been like at least a 3.5 or a 4 star. So very excited to get to this one, The Bird Eater by Anya Alborn. Alright guys, so this is my August TBR. Again, like I said, things will be added, things will be subtracted. Hopefully not subtracted, but things will be added. Obviously I've got the fantasy book I need to read this month, and I'm very excited for this list, because I do want to read all these books, plus Billy Summers, obviously. But yeah, what are some books you're excited to get to for August? Let me know in the comments down below. And also, please don't forget to subscribe. We are nearing 2K, and for the 1-year anniversary, I'd like to be at around 2K. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.